Hello and welcome. I'm Paul Padrone, the product manager of Micro Focus Desktop Containers. This product has developed into some great innovation and enhancements in the most recent versions. Since version 20, we included the server hub and app streaming together with the packaging component, giving a great solution for the world of working remote. The last version 21.9 provides us the best solution for completing tasks from anywhere, on any platform, in any environment. A recent economics briefing noted by NCCI indicated that before the pandemic, only 6% of the employed worked primarily from home, and about 3/4 of the workers had never worked from home before. Pre-pandemic, sure, there was terms working remote. However, we can all agree that the pandemic itself was a major quick shift in how we manage resources. As a customer, colleague, administrator, clerk that was working from the office where all the resources are present, to students that interface with instructors, schoolmates, staff for courses in labs and with books and in classroom. Pre-pandemic, using desktops, laptops, tablets, at the workplace, school, or home, all the resources needed were available and installed on these devices, accessing documents, term papers, the important data through the infrastructure, and mostly keeping the most recent one at my fingertip. And let's not mention keeping my device or devices secure. Of course, another concern is having all those programs cluttering up my personal desktop. PwC's June survey of executives and office workers shows that a permanent flexible work week remotely has a broad support. Most office workers, 83%, want to work from home or at least one day a week, and half the employers anticipate that most of their workers will do so long after COVID-19. Employees required to work from home during COVID-19 was 70%, and those who did so routinely was 30%, essential workers excluded. So many questions when adding remote to our worker or student role. How do I interface with my boss, colleagues, peers, instructors, or study groups? Most importantly, how do I perform my daily tasks no matter what my role is? Access to my data, the most current documents and information, and now I'd prefer not to have all those applications on my personal device. What a mess. The pandemic never changed what we need to do, but changed how we do IT. Again, I say after 18 months, remote working? Who isn't? What's the issue? For IT, it's not the issue, but the challenges. Keeping the organization moving forward. We are users of data and devices that have tasks to complete. Tasks require document access, securing those documents on a corporate network, keeping my work devices secure like desktop, laptops, tablets, and mobiles, minimizing the impact of personal devices by keeping them free from work applications and content, but providing the resources available to complete those tasks that include hardware, software, data access, including resources like licensed applications, access to unique files that collaborate with customers and colleagues, instructors, or again, those study groups. And now the challenge comes to the information technology group of skilled administrators for a solution. We need to manage it all, or should I say to manage all of IT seamlessly, completing it all within corporate security policies, governmental guidelines, protections, and managing expectations. We can use Micro Focus desktop containers integrated with other systems to complete the challenge for security, reporting, deployment, and access. We fast forwarded into evolving our work to a digital workspace, and the minimum requirements is a browser. Yes, any browser. The pandemic never changed what we needed to do, but changed how we do IT. Micro Focus Desktop Containers continues to package virtualized applications so that they can be run independent of any processes on the operating system that might impact the device, like running different versions of browsers independently, or even including that Flash player on a browser that isn't prone to removal, editing documents with a particular program, having a secured thumb drive in my apps secured on them for mobile use anywhere, Add streaming to that equation, and Micro Focus desktop containers can provide the comfort of keeping work at work, school learning focused, and equipping our staff with the resources to complete those daily tasks, all remotely. Leveraging the investment of application streaming and app packaging to run them from anywhere, on any platform, in any environment. Now we're going to see the flexibility of Micro Focus desktop containers in action. In this particular case, we're going to try to run two applications simultaneously, or run a virtualized application that we need to work on a project. And in both cases, we're going to talk about Notepad++. Currently, we have it installed. We can see that we're at version 8 here. And then if we look at the install base, we have Notepad++ installed. We're going to go ahead, and we have a particular project where we need to work with version 7. So we're going to go ahead to our virtualized app. Out on our application portal, we have version 7 available to us. So we go out here, and there's different ways that we can run this, either in the cloud HTML5, in the cloud windowed, on my local device, or install it on my local device. We're going to run it in the cloud. We're at work, it's pre-pandemic. We're going to try and use this particular application and see if we can function and do our project without loading a different version onto the desktop. Now, if we look, we could go into the Filer Cloud and see that we have some files here. We're going to open up the GTM Summit demo, and we can see there's 3 lines in here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and back out of that. We're going to go to Notepad++. We're going to now open up that file in the virtualized app from Filer. Okay, so if you notice, we have a T drive here, and there's Filer, and you could do this with Google Drive, OneDrive, or Dropbox. And you can see we have GTM Summit demo file in here. You can see the 3 lines. We're going to say, check this out on another device. And we're going to save this. It obviously saves to Filer, right? Plain and simple. Really not a lot new here, except now we're going to go home, right? We're going to go home. We're going to go ahead and close this particular tab out, okay, because we've saved the file. We're done with it. We can close all this out. I'll leave it open for demo purposes. We're going to go home, and we're on our Windows 7 box with really nothing installed on this particular device, right? I have all my personal stuff. I don't want any of the work stuff here going on. So we're going to go ahead and log in. In this case, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to Notepad++, open it up. And we could see that it has put that 4th line in here, right? We just opened up that Filer file, and we have it there. Again, not a whole lot here. It's doing what you would expect. However, we're going to go ahead and save that we've been on the Windows 7 device, right? I now have to go, and I need to go over to the school and do some research for my research paper. I'm now going to go and log into their lab, which happens to be a Linux box. I'm going to go over to my portal server. Once I authenticate and I open up the file where Notepad++ is, you notice there's a green dot here, which means it has an active session for my authentication. I'm now going to go ahead and open it up and sign in. And if we look at this, we'll see that we have the Win 7 in there. If we look back at home, it's disconnected us. It's told us, by the way, we've had another connection. So we're terminating this particular connection. So this is the handoff, the application handoff it does. So now we can actually go in here. We can then say, yes, I've worked on this project on Scientific Linux 7.9.
and save that file as well. We log out with forgetting to close this application. We could then go back over to our Windows 10, right? If we open that file up, notice the green dot. We could then open it up and we can see that it's been updated. The other nice thing about Filer is if we open it up here and we do an edit online, you can actually it has an online editor. So you don't need another editor. Within Filer, it has its own editor. And different people, if it's shared, can work on the same document. I'll go ahead and close that and close my Filer out. Should we select install on my local PC as an example, we'll see a second one from Turbo. Okay, and you can actually uninstall it from here. All right, and it would work the same way, and it knows about the installation on the device. And you could regulate which one of these for which application you want to run it and how you want to run it. So you wonder, how did the application get in here? Let's go to our administration box. This is where the back-end magic happens. So we have a zone out here. We can see that there's bundles and we have streaming. We don't have anything in here for our streaming apps. This is when we have a virtual application that we've developed and we want to push out through ZenWorks. Works just fine that way too. We have our filer and we have our hub. We're currently logged in as the administrator in our application server for desktop containers. These are the applications in the repository, and then we have different workspaces within the repository, which we saw Moodle is one of them. And this shows the different applications within Moodle that we are able to select from. Notice Notepad++ was here. You even have settings on the app, how to run it, what the default actions are, and so forth. Let's look at our Desktop Container Studio to see what it can do for us. Currently, I imported a Flash 23 Firefox 23 application. I needed it for this antiquated camera system. So I went ahead and developed this through Flash Player in it, and now it won't impact anything on the desktop, and nothing on the desktop will impact this particular application. What we could do is we can import into ZenWorks. We can require different things as far as having an agent to be installed, a particular zone it's registered to, is it an executable or an MSI? But most importantly, we're going to throw it in the streaming bundle. I'm going to call it Mozilla 23 with Flash Player 20. Now remember, we didn't have anything in there before. We'll leave this open. So let's go ahead and do a publish. We have credentials when we select the zone, and then we'll go ahead and publish now. And if we go on over to our app server, our ZenWorks server, we can now see that particular bundle, we've started to build that bundle for distribution. It's under actions. We could see under the install that we have the install file, which is the Flash 23 with Flash 20. I'm sorry, Firefox 23 with Flash 20. So it's already we've imported it. We've done a lot of the transfer work already. Now we just have to build out this particular bundle if we're going to deploy it with ZenWorks. Now you say, I want something different. I would like to, first off, since we have this loaded, we're going to publish to the MFDC server, which is up in Moodle. So we're going to call this Flash 23 with player, and we're going to say it's 23, and we're going to hit, we can't have spaces in here, and we're going to hit next. It's now going to go and put it up to our desktop containers app server. so that we can make it available to those users that are using the application streaming server. So let's go on over to our workspaces again. We're going to see actually in our repositories, we could see now we have Firefox 23. Okay, we can call it 23 with Flash, and we'll hit save. All right, we'll go to our workspaces. We'll go over to Moodle and manage it. And since it's one of the applications, I'll go ahead and add that application in. Add a PC application. And we're going to do this particular one. Now we have it in there. If we go back over to one of our other devices and we do a refresh on our application server, we should see Firefox with Flash. That simple. You may now ask, what about all the other apps? Are there other apps that can be pre-configured? Well, yes, there are. If we go to Advanced and Import Configuration, we can go out to the Turbo Hub if we're registered and go ahead and select from all these different applications that are pre-configured. So if we wanted Firefox 69, we're there. If we wanted Firefox 92, we have it there. Whether it's developers, tools, whether it's media, productivity tools, they're in the Turbo Hub for your use and reconfiguration. That shows the flexibility of not only the Micro Focus Desktop Containers application server, streaming from any location in any environment, to also the integration into Filer and other products that dovetail into desktop containers.
We will see that Micro Focus Desktop Containers app streaming and packaging enables you to complete tasks from anywhere, on any platform, in any environment. Remember I said with Micro Focus Desktop Solution, the very minimum requirement is a browser. Yes, a browser. But combining Micro Focus Desktop Containers, streaming and app packaging with other Micro Focus products tightens security and streamlines productivity and automation for every type of user. Coupling it with other products like ZenWorks Configuration Management, Micro Focus Advanced Authentication Server, Filer, and ZenWorks Reporting Server provides added security and streamlines automation. Integrating academic learning LMS systems like Moodle, Canvas, and Blackboard brings added flexibility to your Micro Focus investments and streamlines even those resources for learning. Micro Focus Desktop Containers can also be integrated into your current corporate infrastructure, network shares, and cloud storage providers like Micro Focus Filer, Google Drive, OneDrive, and Dropbox, using those various investments. Micro Focus Desktop Streaming Application Server and packaging can be considered a low-cost solution to even a Citrix application server farm. Micro Focus Desktop Containers can provide the comfort of keeping work at work, school learning focused, and equipping our staff with resources to complete those daily tasks, all remotely. You can do your work or studies securely, completing those work tasks from anywhere on any platform in any environment. So get more information about how Micro Focus Desktop Containers can streamline your remote and local workforce by going to our product information site and downloading our trial version and integrating it into your existing investments. Thank you for your attention today. I'm Paul Pedron, Product Manager of Micro Focus Desktop Containers, and I hope you have a great day and stay safe.